This is North Primary School in Southall, West London. It has 400 pupils whose achievement on entry is well below the national average. But despite this, they get over 80% at level 4 in all subjects in the Key Stage 2 national curriculum tests and are in the top 10 for value added. With 98% of their pupils speaking English as an additional language and a high mobility rate, the school has had to develop a determined approach to maintain these standards. Head teacher Jasmine de Gruel.
Our motto is the caring school with a focus on achievement. Care is very important, and we do offer the wraparound care, but we also have high expectations of our pupils and ourselves. The staff work very hard. I work hard. We make the children work hard. But when we play, we play.
Besides offering a balanced curriculum, the school delivers their results through a structured approach to revising for the tests. They offer booster classes for children working towards levels 4 and 5. And there's differentiated revision for EAL children. The school also involves parents so they can support their children.
And you're counting on from the next number.
You really want to do well in that to show that you've been learning at that. So
they expect you to achieve level 5 in all subjects.
The school's planning for the year begins in June, with an analysis of last year's test results to identify areas of weakness. Year 6 teacher, Suvai Rai.
What we would do is look at every single question and think about the questions that children actually omitted completely, the questions that they had a go at but didn't actually quite get the answer right. From all of that, we would come up with general areas of that we need to develop. So, for example, we identified that last year we need to develop shape and space. So from September we would think, well, that's what we're going to develop, and we'll put it into our school improvement plan, and we will gear everything towards that. We don't like them to miss out on anything. We don't want them to get to high school and think, well, I didn't actually learn that in history, or I didn't learn that in geography. We do want them to have a balanced curriculum.
The curriculum in the classroom is broad and balanced till about third week of March. And after that, we do offer revision classes. The children need to see what is expected in a SATs paper. So they will offer practice papers.
So why did you tick no?
So for 6 weeks before the test, these Year 6 pupils spend every morning revising and practicing techniques that may help them get more marks. Amrit Nanda is working with her Year 6 class on questions from the Key Stage 2 reading test. The story they are using is Time Trouble, about a boy and his magic grandfather clock.
Which is question 17. Christelle, can you please read the question?
did the boy get on well with his brother Brian?
They're seeing what the paper looks like and the different kind of questions they'll get.
Explain your reasons, using parts of the story to help you.
So you've got to tick yes or no. Okay, I'd like you to just work with your partner.
And what else could you say about it? And it's good.
Right. How many of you ticked no? I think actually everybody ticked no. Now, what I would like you to do is I would like you to work with your partner, okay, and find some reasons.
So we write that he pushed him, so then he lost something.
They need to know how to spot evidence in the text to support their reasons.
The two brothers seem to fight a lot in the story. For example, on page 10, and then maybe quote one of the fights. So that's, you're actually giving the reason and you're backing your answer up as well, okay?
So we can write that they don't get on well because in between the story, Brian pushed his brother.
We are going to now become examiners. I would actually like you to think of your own questions that could be written.
By writing questions for themselves, the children will better understand what makes a good answer.
So you're going to, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at an on-the-line question. Off we go.
An on-the-line question is one where the answer is explicit in the text itself.
Right, we're going to ask Mr. Hans Group for an on-the-line question.
Who did the the boy we go out with on Wednesday.
Okay, Robin.
His Uncle Jim.
That was a very good on-the-line question because the answer was in the text. Okay? Slightly more challenging task is to find a between-the-line question. Okay?
A between-the-line question requires them to make an inference from the text. This very structured approach to revision seems to work for the pupils of North Primary.
Okay, I've looked around and Popley has a very, very good between-the-line question. Okay? Let's see if you agree. Popley, would you like to read your question out?
Did the boy get what he wanted?
So what do you think the answer for that question would be? Ahmed?
It's yes and no because he got his afternoon back, but because he had such a rotten afternoon before, he wanted to have a better afternoon, but he didn't get that, so yes and no.
Okay. Now, I think we need some brain gym, okay? So let's take our sip of water, please.
But during this concentrated revision period, the pupils do have frequent relaxing breaks.
The first time we started revising, we didn't have that many good marks, but now we've started getting more and more higher.
North Primary believes in the benefit of booster classes.
We also have boosters, they're like a bit like tuition, that help us revise. There's some for English, maths and science, like children who need help on that section.
With the group that we're concerned about, the ones that we want to boost up to achieve level 4, we start with them in October. Straight after October half term, we start bringing them in because if we feel they're flagging behind, we want to just give them a little extra push to ensure that they're going to get level 4. So they will start in October, and then we have the second stage, which is in January, where the group that we're aiming to get level 5 will come in for their boosters. What we're going to do during a booster class, the children aiming for level 4, of me as a teacher focusing on specifically what they were struggling with in class. So could you measure this angle for me, please, Fozia?
In this booster class, the children working towards level 4 are revising measuring angles.
They don't feel that they're holding anybody else up, and they're not concerned about other children just waiting for them to answer. Okay, 76. Where do you think you went wrong, Fozia?
I thought that you have to go this way, but you have to go that way.
Good, okay, so you remember now. So remember that when you are counting, you go from the 0 where the line is, and you count this way if the line is there, okay? What if the line was here?
Then you count that way.
Then you count that way, okay? Samira, can I just check yours? Okay. This particular group is working towards level 4, and in some aspects they're working towards level 5. So what we don't do is we don't assume that they can only achieve level 4 in all areas of mathematics. They may have weaknesses in certain areas, but we make sure that we push them as much as we possibly can. And some of them can be quite surprised at what they can achieve. And usually we find that with mathematics it's usually just a confidence problem and not necessarily a skill problem. All done? We have a policy that if a child can't work out a question, it's actually something to do with our explanation rather than actually their learning style. Buddies are okay? Check your shoulders. Right, what I want you to do is just swap over, and you two can swap over with each other, and just check each other's calculations and see if you agree with the other person's calculations. If you agree, I want you to give them a smiley face.
So who needs these booster classes?
They may be very intelligent children, but they're new to the country. They may be children who've had long holidays abroad because they've gone to India, Pakistan, or other countries, and they've come back after 2-3 months. So we want to make sure that when they're in the class, they can access the curriculum which is relevant to their age.
But how does the school fit these booster classes into the timetable? And how do they fund them?
Amazing thing is my staff have them in the morning. I've had a teacher here who's still there, and she's taken them on Saturdays, sometimes even Sundays. The parents bring them, the children come happily, and a lot of the time there is no additional payment for this staff.
You just have to remember everything you've been shown and taught, and you can do anything.
I think for the last 2 years, there's been no funding which I could use to offer them any rewards. A lot of praise from the governors, from the parents, from their colleagues, from myself. And the other thing I want to add here is the support that they get from the rest of the staff.
I think that's just the way we are as a school and as a staff, and I think it has to come from everybody. It's not just one individual slogging away, it is everybody in the school. And we all have the same vision, and I think that's key. So where we offer booster classes, other teachers, our games teachers offer cricket, football, so all the teachers in this school work really exceptionally hard.
At North Primary, every teacher is an EAL teacher.
Still have a vast number of families, especially now with new arrivals, refugee families, asylum seekers, a lot of families who live in bed and breakfast accommodation. Their needs are so varied. Sometimes their own mother tongue is not very strong, because I feel that when families are coming from disturbed backgrounds, war-torn countries, the priorities are different, and the children perhaps don't get the same support that they will get from a stable family.
To try and make sure children have fewer gaps in their knowledge, class teachers revise with small groups.
What is inside the flower?
These Year 6s are using visual props and keyword lists to help clarify the names of plant parts, required by the science test.
In your mind, or even aloud, you can say what each part is, so you're actually remembering what they are, what their function is.
Parents are also involved in test preparation.
With your children at home, you will count them again. I also run small workshops with certain parents where I need to explain, I feel I could explain how to support their children with the basic skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is done in a very informal way, a group of 10, 12 parents who come. There's more of that one-to-one dialogue. That there are 24 t-shirts on the line. Those parents can help children at home to understand, certainly the maths, using a number line, fractions, how we can use practical apparatus, nothing that we have to buy, things from the house. On a number line, we can count on.
These sessions are also an opportunity to explain to parents the work their children are doing in the build-up to the tests.
When I'm revising, I learn a lot of new things, and then I come to my mum and I say what I learned, and then she asks me questions from the study books and I answer them.
We have a lot of supportive parents, we have a great governing body, so we work in partnership with everybody, and the children are a part of that. Without the children and their enthusiasm, I don't think we'd have attendance at our booster classes. So it would, be all well and good us opening our doors at 8 o'clock, but we need the children to turn up, and they do.